by a person called The War on Beauty, and this video is the link between atheism and immodesty. I'm sorry for looking so slutty today, chat. That's my fault. I my bad. I'm just too atheisty.
This is Julia James Davis, and welcome to The War on Beauty.
Oh, fuck. She sounds crazy. The War on Beauty. Wow.
People tend to think that immodesty or revealing clothing is a new thing. However, in post-revolution era France in the late 1700s, early 1800s, women were wearing dresses that would make us blush today. The sartorial trends of post-revolutionary France are an excellent case study for the relationship between atheism and immodesty. And that...
Okay. Like during the Enlightenment period, post-revolutionary France. How you guys feel about the sans culotte? Is that how you say it? Culotte? I can't speak French. Sans culotte? How do you culottes? How do you pronounce this? The S is sans? Is that the correct use? Is sartorial? I don't fucking know.
That directly parallels to the crisis of modesty that we are having in the West now. Before the French Revolution, the French monarchy, or the Ancien Regime, was staunchly Catholic and very aligned with the Vatican, and the fashions of that period were heavy fabrics, big powdered wigs, and lots of adornment.
That was only by the upper class, and they got all their heads chopped off because they were robbing the people. So, I mean, you can idolize this if you want. You can put a fucking boat in your hair. I don't care.
And so when the French Revolution happened, which was at its core an atheistic movement, there was...
No way. You would be pro Marie Antoinette. You would be a fucking King Louis fan. Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Put her up on the fucking block already, dude. Fucking, where's Robespierre when you need him? Oh, him too? Okay.
There was this massive effort to de-Christianize France, cutting it off from...
It wasn't about de-Christianization specifically, okay? The church played its role when they chose the wrong fucking side, okay? I mean, there were some church folk that helped, but you need to read about maybe you have read about the French Revolution. How do you fucking take the side of the Ancien Regime? How do you fucking take the upper class position on that? The lesson you should learn is don't do that.
From all of its Catholic ties, which included...
The crazy eyes are selling me though.
Killing priests, nuns, destroying all Catholic imagery, and converting the churches to temples to reason, which was the new state-run atheistic cult.
Atheistic cult. I respect the attempt. There were revolutionaries who saw the direct link between the power structures of capitalism and how the church upholds those power structures and works within the system to corrupt it, basically. They corrupt each other. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that as part of the revolution, they tore down the religious state because, of course, right? They shouldn't be part of the state whatsoever. They should be something that you can choose to do if you want, and that's pretty much the limit of it. I don't care if you personally are religious. I care if it's a political movement, essentially. Once you start getting into fucking politics and stuff, it becomes a big fucking problem because you believe in nonsense.
And so along with that, this period brought a complete 180 in fashion styles in order to communicate the
Does she have a booger in her nose?
opposite values.
Or is maybe she just got a lot of nose hairs? I feel like there's a booger in her nose and it's driving me... I keep looking at her nose. It's catching. I can't stop.
Of the monarchy, which were reason, order, and valuing man's intellect over faith and religion. So instead...
One nostril's just salt? No. That's me. I got a nostril. I mean, I guess they look big to you, but the insides are small. I have really tight nostrils, chat. I can't breathe well through.
Of the beautiful over-the-top dresses of the French monarchy, women started dressing in clothing inspired by ancient Rome and Greece.
Bro, she's got she's got bats in the cave. That's what they used to say.
They started wearing a dress called the robe à la grecque, which was made out of semi-sheer muslin fabric.
Fucking love
These
that.
were often very low cut
That's
and
sick.
sleeveless or had cap sleeves and basically aimed to
Holy shit. They had a sexual revolution at the same time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine living in a free society where women could wear clothing that showed their bodies and it was just fucking normalized just the same way that men walk around shirtless sometimes? That'd be cool. Sick.
style women as living Venus statues.
Oh, sick.
One first-hand account of this style says,
This is basically how Sarah walks around the house all the time in sheer fabric. I'm just kidding. She should, though. In sheer fashion.
quote, Lady
Some
Abercorn,
silks.
who was a main fashion plate of the time, had a ball the other night at which
Anyway, not everyone lived like this as well. As you can imagine, not everybody was down this way, but it was a style that some people did.
there were 12 ladies in the garb of statues. George Ellis asked Mrs. Poole, who was one of them, whether she was really as naked as she appeared to be, and she said she really was very near. So what's important
That's so crazy. Who cares?
about this is that fashion is inextricably linked with values. The visuals of dress are one of the main communicators for who someone is. Before you even get to talk to someone, you see them wearing a certain outfit that explains part of their story, whether that be a band t-shirt or a religious habit. And so fast forward to now, the West has a modesty problem that is similarly rooted in atheistic values.
I bet if you asked each one of these people, would be like, God is on my side, actually. Like, what you're seeing is capitalistic values typically when you critique any sort of immodesty or whatever. It's usually like people on the coasts who have pretty decent bank accounts and who invest a lot of money into their aesthetics, sometimes doing BBLs and boob jobs and getting their lips filled, and men do this too. They'll get their fucking calf implants and their fucking pecs. They do it. They get their lips pumped. But it's like, I mean, this is a problem with capitalism. If you don't want to allow this kind of expression, I'm against it, though. I think you should be able to do it. The problem is, I think that most people live not in I want to express myself a lot. It's, I want other people to view me in a certain way. And I think that's a little sad, but I mean, like...
And contrary to a
Men getting leg extensions because they're fucking little guys, yeah.
of commentary, this is something that affects both men and women. So to define modesty, which is something that is sort of loosely defined since it does depend on who you are and what your cultural background is, but modesty basically means dressing appropriately for who you are and where you are. And this extends to beyond clothing. It can be how you act, the words that you use, and even in smaller ways like with how much makeup you wear.
You cannot keep making religious content, and every single one of these people, you got boogies in your nose, every single one of these people are fucking like insecure as shit. I think if I do this you could see it better. Look at that boogie in the nose. I'm telling you, that's HD, right? Got any more higher? Ooh, we got 4K. I don't know if it really changed much. That's I mean,
or tattoos or excessive jewelry. And so just as much as there was a break in the visuals of fashion from the French monarchy to post-revolutionary France, the same thing happened in the United States with the feminist movement. After the second wave of feminism in the 1960s, women started dressing in a much more revealing manner.
Look at them like literally picketing on behalf of their freedom to express themselves. This is the same thing. This is like, without the queer angle, this is the trans debate, kind of. I mean, it's not that different. This is what they're upset about, is the aesthetic of what's happening. It obviously has a little bit more indifferent victimization involved with it. But obviously women have been victimized for this as well, cis women. And so this is like, you know, the constant battle with conservatives about how other people should live their lives. It's like, fucking eat shit. Like, just be the person you want to be, and everyone else will as well. Like...
As a way to express the values of female liberation and this new idea of personal agency, which was a stark visual break from the conservative dress codes of the 1950s and before.
Yep. The generation that came from these people rejected that. Yep.
This was the era of the mini skirt and burning bras.
Yeah, like literally what you're wearing is too revealing for that time period. And you're talking about modesty, you know what I'm saying? Because you have moved left on this topic, because society has as well. You know, even still, that you could like get rid of the sweater or whatever and have like whatever strap thing you got going on here, and it wouldn't be immodest or anything. It would just be to your comfort level. And so if you're not comfortable and you want to wear a sweater because you don't want your shoulders showing, that's fine. Like, no one cares. So why does it matter if you were more genuinely more comfortable taking that sweater off? Should I be able to tell you can't because it makes me feel like you're being immodest? That doesn't sound reasonable at all. What if you're hot? What if it's just hot out and you want less stuff on you? You know? It's fucking crazy. You are kowtowing to my sexuality almost exclusively with this kind of like thing, right? You're like, okay, if there's a man around, he will have a nonstop boner if I'm wearing a spaghetti strap and booty shorts. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you're wearing. I don't even really clock you. I have too much ADHD to like fucking oogle every goddamn person I walk by, okay? It's offensive in my opinion. I mean, it's also, at the same time, acknowledging men's fucking crazy shit like, it's rape culture. That's really what's going on, is you acknowledging rape culture. You don't know it, of course. You're like, oh, they're sluts. You're blaming women that look a certain way.
Which aim to dissolve actually the connection between one's moral worth and what they wore. And so likewise...
Right, their moral worth and what they wore. Like, which is just crazy, right? Like if someone stole your clothes and you were forced to walk around town naked to find, you know, shelter because the clothes thief came around and like zapped your clothes. Stole them while you're sleeping. That sounds like sexual assault, but I imagine it's a gremlin situation. They're just stealing clothes like moths. Like, you wouldn't be immodest for being forced into a situation where you were expressing a certain way, right? And it also wouldn't be immodest for you to come from a culture that doesn't think that it's fucking immodest to wear spaghetti straps and booty shorts or whatever. It's just your fucking expression. If you are personally not comfortable, don't do it.
During
the underpants gnomes, right, exactly.
In that era, we saw a big change in how women were represented in media. Women started to become portrayed in movies, advertisements, and music in an overall more immodest way. And since then, clothing for both men and women have become increasingly revealing and very casual. People are now walking around the streets, going on airplanes, going to work even in clothing that...
Love this. I absolutely love it. It's totally fine with me. It shows a general comfort we have in society if you just express yourself however you want.
Basically has abandoned all decency and
There's nothing indecent by any of those things.
And respect for others. Yeah. And there's no longer really a line between being in your house and being casual in sweats or workout clothes and going out into the public, which should demand a little bit more decorum. And
that's self-imposed, crazy eyes. You have to figure out why your insecurities and your like anxiety about this is existent, and it's your religion and your upbringing is the answer. You cannot keep projecting your like worrying about what if everyone is looking at you and what they think about you all the time. That is projection, dude. Like, not our problem. This is what Abby Shapiro's child grows up to be? Yeah, pretty much.
Mindfulness about how one is going out into public. And so this new way of dressing really does directly...
Dude, when she does that, that's some crazy Christian eyes shit. You only do that when you're on the sauce. You get her off atheism, she'll never make this face again. Or on atheism. I'm telling you. You deconvert her, crazy eyes go away.
Correlate to the increasing rates of atheism and the eschewing of traditional morality.
The eschewing? Did you put this in Chat GPT? The eschewing? Sure.
Just like in post-revolutionary France, because we have seen atheism rising through the roof, and specifically for women.
So atheism is rising through the roof because your myths aren't true. The systemic failures of the church and Christians in general, especially Christian men, but definitely Christian women, of like systemic abuse and patriarchy and, you know, the stuff that goes into that structure is definitely driving some people away, but that doesn't necessarily make them not religious anymore. Although for some people, the church being bad to them makes them not be religious, which is, you know, I'll take a jumping off point. But most people become non-religious because they don't believe in God, you know? They just don't believe in God. If they get there through the problem of evil, cool. But, like, I mean, really what it is there's no evidence for it. And you just gotta deal with that.
So for the first time, young women are now more likely to identify as religiously unaffiliated or atheist compared to their male counterparts, which is a first-time reversal of the traditional pattern where women are more
outnumber men among the young adults leaving religion.
More religious than men. And a leading cause of this has been gender issues, and especially abortion, plus this increasing trend towards personal spirituality outside of a centralized religion. And
how millennials replace religion with astrology and crystals. Motherfucker. That's Gen X. A few millennials caught this shit, but like some of them are into astrology. Fewer are into crystals. Gen X is into this shit way more. Most millennials that I know and that have interacted with are either religious, identify as religious, but don't really do any of the stuff and are functionally agnostic, or they're atheists. Like, not many. I don't know many, like, fucking witches and shit. Unless it was, like, in high school. They may have done some witchy stuff in high school. I don't know many millennials that stuck with it. Crystal mommies, Gen X.
And since the church doesn't support abortion or LGBT or intimate relationships outside of marriage, which is basically the abject opposite.
You like your tarot? Tarot cards are cool, but like, you know, you're not going to die if you get the fucking 9 of swords or whatever. You know what I mean? You're just not going to get stabbed to death tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
Of everything the feminist movement stands for, women have chosen to not become part of a religion or even believe in God. And people really want to divorce morality and clothing, but this is actually really hard. They call it a fashion statement for a reason. And this new revealing clothing worn by women is just conveying a new set of values and morals, which are sexual liberation, the right to abortion, and freedom from marriage. But unfortunately, this movement towards immodesty and liberation has had very real negative consequences for women.
It really hasn't. It's been better for them. It's objectively been better. You get to express yourself how you want. That's the end of it.
For example, 17.7% of American women are on SSRIs compared to 8.4% of men.
Okay, so they live under a patriarchy, and they're more likely to go to the doctor for problems. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Men are definitely... There should be more people, by the way. I feel like maybe not necessarily on antidepressants, but addressing depression, like going to therapy and getting medicated and stuff like that. Yeah, it probably should be higher than this. It probably should be double, really.
And there has been a steep decline in fertility rates, leading to a population crisis.
Fertility rates? You mean specifically people getting worries about fertility? Big time Christians worry about fertility stuff. I'm not making a little fucking worker drone for your corporation. Sorry, dude. It's not happening. Your population is not going to be a problem. Just have sex and procreate if you want to.
1.4 million American women are on OnlyFans.
Oof. Lily Phillips. Every fucking one of them has been freaking out. We had to do like 2 videos on this subject now. Fuck, man. 1.4 million American women only do OnlyFans. I mean, is that like... I'm sure most of those people don't actually make content, but they're verified. Or have only uploaded a little bit. That's fewer than I'd have expected. Yeah, I mean, it's not... There's 350 million of us in this country, half of which are women. Or thereabouts.
And women hold 2/3 of the student loan debt.
Okay, but women hold 2/3 of the student loan debt because they go to college at higher rates than men, and we get fucked if you go to college. Genuinely, when I was in college, most of the students there were women. It's absolutely true. Crazy.
And I think it's really only now that we've reached such an extreme place in this.
This is not women's liberation. What? These are problems that women spoke up for. Like, they're going to college, and that's a good thing. It's not a good thing that they have the debt. It's a good thing that they're going to college. Like, don't you want to be educated, bro? Well, you're reading about the French Revolution right now. You wouldn't be able to say any of this shit in the 50s. You'd have to shut the fuck up. Why do you even think that's reasonable? Why do you think it's reasonable for people to tell you to shut the fuck up because you're a woman? You should shut the fuck up because you're wrong, you know? You being a woman is no reason to shut the fuck up.
Female liberation revealing clothing era, that we can start to appreciate how the traditional Catholic norms around modesty and dress are really a way to respect women and respect men.
Dog, you're not in traditional Catholic wear. You have a low collar on this. This is quite revealing for a traditional Catholic place. You even saying some of this shit, you would have been burned at the stake. You kidding me? You would not have been, you would not have done well in Salem.
For example, the church veils all things that it considers holy. That is the tabernacle, the chalice, and women. I don't personally veil at church. It's not something that I've been called yet to do, but I have.
So you don't even fucking do it? Not that trad then? I'm not personally called to do it? What do you mean you're not personally called to do it? You just fucking mean that you didn't decide to do it. Now you shut the fuck up. Now shut the fuck up.
I've seen a lot of young women doing it now, and I think that it's so beautiful. Plus, there is a major trend of women who are aiming to counter the secular values of today with dressing in a more feminine...
So you were bitching about women being like professional business ladies and stuff, and then they're all doing that.
Secular values
you know what I'm
of
saying?
today.
Like you're upset? But are you though? Like the girl boss? So now you're not upset? But because they use the word modesty, when really they're wearing pants. That's fucking. What do you mean? They can't wear pants. They're women.
Dressing in a more feminine and mindful manner.
None of that was mindful or feminine. What are you talking about? That was capitalism. That was materialism. These aren't Jesus things.
Which I think is so great and is so beautiful.
Jesus did not say, oh, go buy every new pair of shoes. He didn't say, have 47 outfits for your business attire. He didn't. He said, sell all your fucking worldly possessions and wear rags. None of you motherfuckers want to do that, though, because it's stupid. Silly. You should veil up, though. I want to see veils moving forward, or you're not fucking trad enough.
I think this all really points to...
I don't think you're very fucking modest at all.
There is going to be a major change in fashion as there is a return to religion and traditional values. We really have reached the logical conclusion of the feminist movement, which has been so ugly and such a disaster for women. And so we're going to have a return to traditionalism, faith, family, and femininity, which is...
She showed statistics where none of that is trending her way. It's like nothing like that is happening. She showed like actually it's going in the opposite direction of the way I wanted to go, but she's finishing this with, and now we're going towards tradition. I assume because Trump won. Like, shut up.
going to really change how women are dressing and showing up, not just to church, but to work, to
women. It's not traditional to go to work. You're not going to be going to church. Women are the higher number of people becoming non-religious. Great pause.
outside, walking around on the street, and at home. We're really starting to see the beginning stages of a Catholic revival among
A Catholic revival? I just did a story like last week, maybe the week before, where it was like, more Catholic churches indicted on years and years and decades of sexual abuse. They hid it. 67 boys throughout the decades. Like, fucking, it's over, dude. Shut up. Your shit is not believable. You do not have good arguments for your belief. It's all fucking woo-woo.
amongst the youth, especially the notable popularity of the Latin Mass and so many people converting, me being one of them, that hopefully with the return...
You're doing it as a social LARP. You want people to like you. It's not gonna work out. Fucking, when she's 35, she'll be a fucking atheist. And she'll be disillusioned from the church experience because it would have gone poorly. Because it never goes well.
Turn of religion, fashion, and therefore media and
Deeply
magazines,
sad.
and really how women are portrayed is going to go in a more conservative, modest way. But I really think we are at the forefront of all of this, so I would love to know your opinion about this. Do you...
Ooh, in the comments section? Oh my god. Maybe, hey, chat, could you give me engagement in the comments section about why you disagree with the world getting more modest? Give me engagement, guys. Subscribe immediately to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is the most modest YouTube channel on the internet because I never show titty. I don't show no titties on here. I keep them titties locked up. Chat doesn't get me. So modest. That's right. So fucking modest. Oh my god. Everyone knows it. Oh, he's so modest.